There are some voices that never fade. They linger in the air, wrapped around timeless songs, echoing through generations. And Donna Jean Godchaux McKay had one of those voices. Today, the world of music is mourning the loss of the woman who sang with legends. From Elvis Presley to the Grateful Dead, Donna Jean has passed away at the age of 78 after a courageous battle with cancer, surrounded by her family in Nashville. She left this world as peacefully as she lived in it, with grace, melody, and love. Her representative shared a heartfelt statement, calling her a sweet and warmly beautiful spirit, and closing with a line from Grateful Dead lyricist Robert Hunter, "May the four winds blow her safely home." For fans across the world, those words couldn't ring truer. Born in Florence, Alabama, right in the heart of the Muscle Shoals Sound, Donna Jean's story began far from the massive stages she'd one day conquer. From a young age, she was drawn to music, to the harmonies and rhythms that pulsed through the South. She started her career as a background vocalist, lending her voice to some of the greatest hits of all time. Among them were two unforgettable #1 songs, Percy Sledge's "When a Man Loves a Woman" and Elvis Presley's "Suspicious Minds." Think about that for a second. Two of the most iconic voices in music history, and Donna Jean's harmonies helped complete their magic. She once said working with Elvis was one of the most amazing experiences of her life, describing him as so kind, so encouraging, and the most gorgeous human being she had ever seen. Those sessions in the studio became part of rock and soul history. But Donna Jean wasn't destined to remain in the background forever. In 1970, chasing bigger dreams, she left Alabama for California, a leap that would change everything. It was there she met the man who would become both her musical partner and husband, keyboardist Keith Godchaux. Through him, she was introduced to one of the most influential bands of all time, the Grateful Dead. By 1971, both Donna and Keith had joined the band, becoming an essential part of its sound and spirit. For 8 unforgettable years, Donna Jean's voice soared above Jerry Garcia's guitar and Bob Weir's vocals, bringing a soulful warmth to the Dead's psychedelic jams. She wasn't just a background singer anymore. She was a vital piece of the Grateful Dead's golden era, blending Southern soul with rock experimentation in a way that no one else could. Her time with the Grateful Dead was legendary. She toured the world, from the deserts of Egypt to the arenas of Europe and America, singing to crowds that sometimes numbered in the hundreds of thousands. Fans remember her energy on stage, the way she swayed with the rhythm, eyes closed, lost in the moment. In interviews, Donna Jean often described those years as exhilarating and exhausting in equal measure. "It was great fun," she once said. "I loved singing with those guys and we had an absolute blast." But fame and constant touring came with a price. Life on the road, endless performances, and personal struggles began to take a toll. By the late 70s, both she and Keith were drained, physically and emotionally. As she told Rolling Stone years later, "We were wasted, we were exhausted, and the band was exhausted with us." By 1979, it became clear that change was inevitable. Donna and Keith knew their time with the Grateful Dead was coming to an end. "How in the world do you quit the Grateful Dead?" she remembered asking. It wasn't just a band, it was a movement, a family, and leaving it behind wasn't easy. But they both felt it was necessary. They wanted to focus on raising their young son, Zion, born in 1974, and to find peace away from the chaos of touring life. Together, they formed a new group, Heart of Gold, hoping to channel their creativity into something more personal and grounded. For a brief moment, It seemed like a new chapter was opening for them, one filled with possibilities, love, and music on their own terms. Then tragedy struck. In July 1980, Keith Godchaux was involved in a devastating car accident. Just days later, he passed away at only 32 years old. The loss shattered Donna. The music that had once carried her through the highs of life now became a reminder of everything she'd lost. But even through heartbreak, she never lost her love for music. It was her refuge. In 1981, she found love again, marrying musician David Mackay. Together, they returned to Muscle Shoals, Alabama, the place where it all began. There, Donna began to rebuild her life, surrounded by the roots of her sound and the warmth of her family. Music never left her. It simply took on new meaning, becoming more spiritual, more reflective. Through the 80s and 90s, Donna Jean continued to sing, write, and perform. In 1994, she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of the Grateful Dead, an honor that cemented her place among rock's most influential artists. But what made Donna unique wasn't just her resume, it was her spirit. She represented the bridge between gospel, soul, and rock, genres that didn't always blend easily, but somehow came together effortlessly in her voice. In 2006, she started her own band, the Donna Jean Godchaux Band, proving that even decades later, her passion for creating music had never dimmed. Fans loved her for her warmth, her humility, and her authenticity, qualities that remained unchanged through fame, loss, and reinvention. When she spoke about her life, Donna often reflected on gratitude. She never let bitterness or regret overshadow her memories, only appreciation for the people and music that had shaped her. She once said she felt lucky to have sung with some of the most beautiful souls to ever walk this earth. And she meant it. From the Muscle Shoals sessions to the Grateful Dead's wild tours, she carried with her a sense of faith and love that inspired everyone around her. Her son, Zion Godchaux, followed in her footsteps, becoming a musician himself and continuing her legacy in his own way. For Donna, music was more than career. It was connection. It was how she expressed joy, endured pain, and kept moving forward, no matter what life brought. Now, as tributes pour in from across the music world, Donna Jean Godchaux Mackay's voice continues to echo, through records, through memories, through the songs that never fade. She leaves behind her husband, David Mackay, her sons, Kinsman and Zion, her grandson, Delta, and a legacy that few can match. From singing harmonies for Elvis Presley to standing on stage with the Grateful Dead, Donna Jean's story reminds us that even the voices behind the biggest names can change history. She may have left this world, but her music, her warmth, her laughter, her courage will forever drift through time. In the words she once lived by, may the four winds blow her safely home.